Testing, 1, 2, 3. This better record my fucking voice or I'm gonna throw a goddamn fit. Hello everyone, this is Evie and I'm here today with a quick little mock showcase of mine. This is a Lego Bumblebee. A little bit of backstory on this. Years ago, and when I say years ago, I really do mean years ago, all the way back, like over 10 years ago at this point, back when I was still a freshman in high school, I made a Lego Bumblebee Moc that was specifically meant to represent the Bayformers version of Bumblebee, and I built it using mainly like CCBS Hero Factory pieces like you see on this guy. I still have the picture saved of that old mock on, I think it's on my iPad, and I'll definitely show it on screen when I'm editing the video, so that you can see the differences between the old version and the new version. The new version more or less is the same with the arms and legs, in that they're using the Hero Factory CCBS pieces to put them together. I think the feet are also the same. The only difference is that I'm using a different type of tire right here. I think the main differences, let me hike the camera up a little bit. The main differences have to do with the head and the doors. The doors I changed the design of completely, and the head is not the same design. Now the thing is, this head is basically the exact same head that is used on the official Lego Bumblebee set. In fact, if I get my copy of the Lego Bumblebee, the official Lego Bumblebee set, you will see that he is currently headless. He's basically in the same condition that a lot of French royalty are in, and that's because I basically took the head off of the official Bumblebee set and put it onto this mock. Now the reason why I did this is actually very simple. I was too lazy to make my own head, is what it boils down to. I tried making my own head, like I sincerely did try. I tried to see if I can incorporate like the faceplate into a head design and try to make everything around it more like the Bumblebee helmet design seen in the Bayformers movies, but I had a hard time figuring that out. It just didn't, I couldn't make it look good, so I just gave up and I just used the official Bumblebee set head for it. If I might go back and see if I can make my own version of the head at some point, but I'm not so sure about that. When I started building the head, like my first the first thing that I did, and the original version from 10 years ago used this piece for the head, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea inherently. I think that it is possible to use this piece to create a head of some kind. Like, you could definitely do that. But I had a hard time making it work. Like, there's something about this piece that just made it feel like it was bulking out the head too much, so it didn't look flush and natural as a result of that, which is one of the reasons why I went the lazy route and just used the official Bumblebee set head for my mock instead of like making my own. If I ever do decide to make my own head, I don't know if I'm gonna go down the route of like using a Technic toe ball to attach it, or if I'm just gonna use like this piece to attach it. I'm not sure. I don't even know if I actually ever will go back and redo the head. I think I'm probably just gonna take this thing apart as soon as I'm done with it for this video, in all honesty. Arguably the biggest difference from this original version, or not this original version, I should say the original version and this new version, is the torso. On the old version, I used this CCBS / Hero Factory torso piece for the old torso. I just built everything around that. And when I decided to use the Bumblebee head for the mock, I realized that this couldn't work because the ball joint that they use to attach the head just isn't compatible. So I decided to do the next best thing and make my own custom torso. Now if you line it up, you will see that the that the custom torso is the same dimensions as the official torso. Like the arms and legs are the same length apart from each other and it's at the same height. So I did take that into account, but I did design the torso in such a way where you could fit not only the car doors in the back, but also the head on top. And I want to do a little bit of disassembling. I'm just going to try to take off the car doors. It's actually probably just easier to do it this way, so you can get a good idea of how the whole thing is put together. When it comes to the front part, this car grill part, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the way that it turned out, because it's 7 studs long, which isn't necessarily an issue of itself, but like when you try to fill in, you know, that middle black piece, it probably not super easy to tell because of the lighting, but I actually used a 1x3 jumper plate for that middle black piece at the top. I think the reason why I went with one of those is because preferably I'd like to use a grill tile, but grill tiles don't extend over 3 studs, they only go over 2 studs, so I kind of had to use a 3 tile one to cover that up. And I feel like it'd probably be better if this whole area was 6 studs long instead of 7. Like I might redesign it so that it's a stud shorter, so that it looks better. But I feel like the reason why I ended up going with 7 is because like it helps fill out the gap a little bit more. Like it'd probably be like a bit of it probably wouldn't extend to the arms as much, and like these little black bushings there in the back probably would stick out a little bit more if I did that. But I also want to talk about how the chest piece is like attached. You have those Technic lift arms with the half pins attached, and there's a 1x5 plate on the back of this whole configuration, and the half pin just attached to the anti-studs on the far end. It's not originally how I did it. Originally, I had the 1 1/4 pin that was slightly longer, and then I put a thin 1x5 lift arm, and then I put the half pins into the holes right next to these ones, and then I put the chest configuration on top of it. Like, I'm probably not doing a very good job explaining it. I have decided to go ahead and quickly remake the original attachment so that you can get a better idea of how it was done originally. So here's the thin lift arm, like I said, and originally I would have attached it right there, and then the chest configuration would have gone on top of it. And technically that works. It does allow for the piece to attach, but the issue is when you turn it around, you have, you know, half the pin is not attached to anything, so you can kind of create this awkward thing where his chest can move in and out like that. And when I started ordering the pieces online via Bricklink to put this thing together, it wasn't until after the first haul of pieces came in that I quickly remembered, oh yeah, the 1x5 plate exists. I completely forgot all about that. And so I quickly redesigned the thing. I redesigned the model on Studio because I do have like a 3D version of this on Studio, and not completely, but I did redo the instructions that I made for this so that I could more accurately reflect the much better way to attach the chest piece. And real quick before I continue, I also want to show, just to give more of an idea of like to understand how this whole thing is put together, I want to disassemble this whole mechanism so that it shows just how the body is more or less kind of divided into 2 big parts. The arms and the car doors are both attached to this one big piece right here, whereas with, you know, the head, the torso, and the legs, they're all on this piece. And then you just put the 2 pieces together by attaching them like this, and to lock it all in, you put in the chest piece, which kind of holds the whole thing together. Now, the thing about the custom torso that I ended up making is that it does a good job at keeping the dimensions of the CCBS torso and allowing me to like put the head on along with the car doors. But there is a downside that comes to that. There is a trade-off. It's a little flimsy. It's a little wobbly, it's a little flimsy. It as opposed to this piece, which is one whole sturdy thing, so it doesn't like really wobble all that much, and if you do try to wobble it, you're gonna break it. This does wobble. Posing this Bumblebee as a result is a little trickier. It's not impossible, you can do it. I have posed this guy before, but the thing is, like, because the torso is a lot shakier and a lot flimsier, it is a little more difficult to pose him, as you can see. I don't know if like oh yeah, this kind of just fell off, like it just disconnected from one of the half pins. So I felt like that, yeah, it does kind of illustrate how hard it is to pose him because that custom torso. That's probably part of the reason, like, if I were to go ahead and make my own custom head design for this, as unlikely as that is, if I were to do that, I'd probably use this piece and attach it onto the style torso that I used before because it's a lot more sturdy. I also kind of want to highlight the car doors because that's one of the biggest differences from the original. I couldn't remember off the top of my head how the original door looked, so I actually went back through my photos and got a reference picture so I could tell. And honestly, I feel like the door on the older one, I think I like more. This one does have like an implied little door handle with like this like scooter piece in there, which is something, I guess, but like I feel like the one issue that this version has is like how it's easy for it to come apart. Like, look how easy it is for it to pull this thing off because it's like it's just the one slope on top, and it doesn't attach to this 1x4 brick here in any way, so like it's very easy for it to detach. I think I probably should have used like a 1x2 slope and attach it there. Like, I'm not sure if those pieces come in any transparent color, or if they do, if they match the specific transparent color that I used here, but it's probably like something I would look into. Another thing I think is better on the original, now that I have the image pulled up in front of me, and I can directly compare, another thing I think is better on the original is the actual like chest part. The chest part on the original I think looks so much better than this version, and I might try to see if I can find a way to like better recreate how it was originally for this version, because I think it looks so much better than what I have here. But overall, I think the thing I'm now just starting to realize is that the older version was slightly better. I feel like that the only thing that sucked about the original version is that the head that I made for it wasn't very good, but everything else about it I think looks alright. I feel like that the head is really the only thing that I needed to work on, so I just recorded this whole like nearly 16-minute video showing off this Moc, only to come to the realization that the old version was superior in a lot of ways. Oh man, that is something else. So yeah, like I said, like I might end up taking this apart once I'm done, or at the very least I might try to make it appear more like its older version, and then like once I'm done with it, just like completely take it apart. I feel like that this new version was like meant to be an attempt to improve on the old one, but I feel like that I don't know if I did that very well. Like, man, it's kind of not sure how I feel about that. One thing that I forgot to mention, this is something that I did, I think I intended to bring up, but I didn't remember to do so until I just looked at the picture now. On the older picture, you might notice that one of Bumblebee's hands is like the cannon, because I think in the movies, his hand can like transform into like a blaster, and I decided to adapt that over with this. As for like, because I've been talking about how like the older version is better than the new version, but I feel like that I'm okay with the new version of the weapon. I don't think that one is better than the either. I think they both look pretty fine. So like I'm fine with this version, but I'm also fine with the older version. I don't think you really have a preference all that much. But I just like to imagine that you can just take off Bumblebee's lower arm right here. Oh my god. And further again, proving how bad this torso is. Like the fact that it was so difficult for me to pull off his arm, and when I did, it knocked out his chest plate. That is awesome. But you could just attach this alternate version, and boom, Bumblebee's got his little gun arm. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't really have much more to say about this build. I feel like that the older version was better, and I might redesign this to be more in line with the older version, because this just isn't doing it, unfortunately. It didn't work out as well as I thought it did. But, you know, at least I was able to revisit this project at all, and at least I got some new pieces out of it, because I did do a lot of bricklink hauls for, you know, to create this, and I did get some pieces out of doing that. So, you know, more Lego pieces in my collection is always something to be happy about. So there's that, at least I suppose. I don't really have much more to say, so goodbye for now.